top of the morning to you, y'all. We're gonna talk about reinstating the draft today. I know, Merry Christmas, right? What the hell, buddy? It's not unheard of, though. On this day in history, December 20th, 1957, Elvis Presley went ahead and he was drafted, and he served 2 years in the Army like any good American should. No matter how big of a crown you wear on top of your head, he knew his duty, and he went and did it. So we salute you, Elvis, for that. But in case you live under a rock, I think times have changed a whole lot. And I think we got to acknowledge at this point that reinstating the draft won't work this time, at least not in the same way that it did before. And we've all heard these stories from our parents, and we've heard these stories from our grandparents about the guys that avoided World War II, the guys that avoided Vietnam, and they were labeled this terrible term called, you know what, draft dodgers, right? You did not want to be called a draft dodger. I mean, these guys who stayed home were shamed worse than Brittany Griner showing up in a NASCAR race. It was bad, and it should have been. And y'all hear me out too. This video ain't about the right way or the wrong way of serving the country, or do you believe that tyranny already exists in the hands of our government? That's a whole different conversation. I personally believe that a man in a helmet defending his country should get paid a hell of a lot more than a man in a helmet defending a football. You know what I'm saying? Hit like if you agree with that statement right there. See, back in the 40s and the 50s and 60s, your honor was on the line. Y'all remember that little thing called honor? Because I'm pretty sure Merriam-Webster is going to try to ban that word next year out of their dictionary. If we can be non-political for just a couple seconds here, I think we're in the woods. We can't tell a lie out here. We can all agree on one thing, and that one thing is times have changed, right? So if times have changed, young people today, they have little or no concern whatsoever for honor. They're just trying to stay alive to smoke weed and play video games for the most part, and it's sad as hell. Look, I ain't railing against smoking weed and playing video games. I've just never turned a profit off of either, so I abstain from both. Y'all copy that? You do you. Then there's the other side. The other side is there's a whole bunch of veterans who are raising sons right now who served our country in the past along with their fathers, along with their grandfathers, who refuse to let their kids be under the thumb of someone tyrannical. And that's a fast-growing stance, by the way. The U.S. military has had the biggest recruiting shortage in 50 years. Are y'all aware of this? The Army was short of its recruitment goal by 25% this year alone. The military is facing the biggest recruiting shortages ever. It's absolutely terrifying to think we can't control our international interest. How the hell are we going to control our national interest if this trend keeps happening? 18-year-olds today are so fat that they can't complete the physical requirements. The test scores have dropped through the roof. The military has gone woke, and our youth today has perpetually seen us at a war ever since about 2001 without a single break. It ain't too popular right now, and that just sucks. It sucks for us. It sucks for morale all the way down the line. Now, I say this all the time. I support our troops to the core. I have met thousands of these guys and girls over 12 years of touring and country music. If y'all want to serve, you know I have your back all the way to the end. But I really think it's important to remember that the last 10 generations or so consisted of people who actually defended what is uniquely American. The new generations, the millennials and Gen Z, these kids have been taught to hate what is American. So there's no way they're ever going to have our backs. And I think it's time that we go ahead and realize this. Hell, people in 2033 right now are looking back at 2023 saying, boy, don't you miss the good old days? So we're not putting our hope in these young kids to defend our future front lines. I thank God for the people watching this channel because I believe we are the front lines. Right now, just economically, right now, just morally, but we will be the front lines in a whole more tangible way very, very soon. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on this topic. I consider this channel big enough to be called the Redneck Town Hall at this point, so don't be quiet, don't be shy, chime in. And remember, every time somebody subscribes to this channel, a liberal nails his kneecap on the back of a trailer hitch. So subscribe, we want to make sure that happens. God bless y'all, and Merry Christmas.